Hey, this is London Bridge Bricks, and welcome to our first London to Manchester video. This is a collaboration between myself and Chris from BRICKIN'IT, reviewing a set which we streamed and built together. In this video, we'll be taking a look at Speed Champions Formula E Panasonic Jaguar Racing Gen 2 car and the Jaguar I-PACE eTROPHY set number 76898.
Or as we like to call it, the Jag cars.
Okay, so the theme for this is obviously Speed Champions, and it actually came out in January of this year. It has 565 pieces and features just 2 minifigures. Now, the retail price for here in the UK is £34.99, and it's $29.99 over in the US, and it's €39.99 for the rest of Europe. Now, price per piece is 6.2 pence.
Well, that's actually a really, really good price, especially when you're considering that the Lamborghinis are actually the same kind of thing as this, and they're £20 more expensive here in the UK.
So sit back, buckle up, enjoy the speed build, and we'll be back in 4 minutes with the review.
Okay, so that's the building. I think you'll agree it's a pretty good looking set. So, okay, as always, let's kick off then with the minifigures. And Chris, I've got to be honest, I like both the minifigures, but if I had to pick one that I particularly like, I'd probably go with the I-PACE driver. But my least favourite, and probably you can tell me a little bit more about this, is probably the Formula E driver. I just don't like it quite as much.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you there, Greg, to be fair, because if you actually look at this guy, looking at the torso, it's very, very dark because it's printed onto a black torso piece. The teal does show quite nicely, and it doesn't have too much of a bleed through, which is quite nice there. And I do like his teal arms, but it doesn't have any printing on the legs, which the other one does, as well as I find the Panasonic and Jaguar motifs a little bit lost on the very, very garish looking colours. He does have a nice Formula E on the background, on the back of his torso though, which is quite nice. And obviously he also has a ginger hairpiece, so he is representing the gingers there. So obviously that's a plus to me. But he then has black eyebrows, which makes him look a little bit bizarre.
So you're thinking that he's probably just dyed his hair?
Yeah, I think he's trying to be a ginger to appeal to more people, but I think he's the curtain doesn't match the drapes, as they say.
Well, I'll be interested. I'll be interested to know what people prefer. Do they prefer the ginger hair, or do they prefer the crash helmet being on him? I'm hiding that very fact, folks. But yeah, I mean, my personal opinion is it's kind of okay. I think the teal colours, I think they're okay actually. I think they work particularly well. Obviously, matches particularly brilliantly with the cars themselves, because the cars themselves are kind of a very Jaguar. They're kind of making this teal colour seem quite sophisticated, if you ask me. But I agree with you. The fact that he hasn't got any legs, it's just for me that kind of is a bit of a markdown.
Definitely, I could agree with you completely there, Greg. If you have these on as a display piece, which I think a lot of people do with the Speed Champions, I think the teal and black one very much goes with the set. But at the same time, it's just I just think if he had printed leg pieces, I think he would have gone up a little bit more, in my opinion.
Yeah, definitely though. But I will say one thing though: the detail of the actual prints themselves, the actual logos and everything like that. I think they've done a really good job there. They look very sharp. You can absolutely read them without any sort of problems. You know exactly what car manufacturing company they come from. So for what it is, it's good. But moving on to the next minifigure. In my opinion, she's just better. I think she's just a little bit more groovy. If you ask me, she's kind of got this. She's got this very nice torso with a kind of E motive on it as well, and she's obviously been the main driver of the I-PACE. And then on the back of her torso, she's got this Jaguar I-PACE eTROPHY detail as well. I think that looks good. I also think, personally speaking, I always think grey and white go together particularly well, actually. And of course, a plus for this as well is that she does actually come with printing on her legs. Again, matching the torso area with the grey and the teal accents. And I don't know if you look closely at it, and when the light just about gets it right, you've got this nice shimmering silver effect as well. And to kind of finish her off, for me, as far as I'm concerned, Chris, anyway, because I do want to know what you think about her. She actually comes with a crash helmet as well, a white one, so she looks rather trendy, rather almost Mrs. Peel-esque. But she also comes with a rather fancy hairpiece as well.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, this one just does look like a higher quality minifigure. You also have the printing on the belt area as well, which is quite nice. It looks like a more all-in-one complete suit, whereas the other guy just looks like they've just done the torso and not bothered to add any extra details to the legs. One thing that I think this character is missing, which I think is a lot of these Speed Champions, is I would have loved to have seen some side printing on the legs as well to really add those details in. But yeah, she's a great looking minifigure. I do really like it. And again, I love the use of these different coloured arms to kind of showcase that. Just makes them look a lot more colourful. I think if she had white arms, she would look a bit like a spaceman. But I think with these dark grey ones, I think they really play well.
Yeah, I think she looks. I just think genuinely she looks rather trendy, and I think really if you're driving around in one of these particular supercars, these Jaguars, I think at the very least you're going to want to be a tad trendy, aren't you?
Definitely. Also, she looks very Apple-esque with the white, which obviously these are electric vehicles. They're supposed to look a bit more trendy. So.
And I don't know if this is a thing for Speed Champion sets, but these particular two minifigures don't come with alternative faces. They've just got their one primary face, and that's it.
Yeah, I think another thing to note on these characters here as well, which I do really like that LEGO have started doing, is that the bodies for both of these are actually unisex, so you can actually swap the heads over and have the lady being the driver of the Formula E and the gentleman being the driver of the Jaguar. And I really like that. I applaud LEGO for doing that. I think the negative space ones didn't need to have that on these suits, so I think that's a really good plus as well.
Yeah, I guess that really doesn't have to be a thing. But yeah, let us know what you think about the figures in the comments below. Okay then, Chris, so let's look at the first build that comes in this dual pack, the Formula E. What's your thoughts on that then?
So I really like the car. I do have a little bit of reservations around it, but let's kind of look at it first and the pros and cons. So I really do like the use of this teal. I think it makes it look really vibrant and like really does make it look like a futuristic vehicle in this teal, very electric looking. I really like the diffusers at the back with the red, the brake light in the back. I think it almost looks, I think you said this to me, Greg, off camera, Batmobile-esque at the back.
I genuinely think it was. I could almost think that this could be, for the new Batmobile movie coming out, I almost think that would kind of work quite well for a Batmobile. I mean, obviously it'd be terrible over speed humps, folks. It really would be. If the Joker or the Penguin wanted to get away, then they've just got to go down a one-way system, I suppose, that has loads of speed bumps over it. So it wouldn't be any good for that. But
yeah, colouring would be very more Adam West-esque as well. I think if it was a teal Batmobile, I do think maybe that's more the old Adam West version of Batman.
Yeah, you could be right there, mate. And obviously as well, a lot of people arguably like Adam West is their favourite Batman. But actually, this is an interesting one. Let us know in the comments below what your favourite Batman is, and would that actually happen to be the Lego Batman himself? But anyway, back to the Formula E car, Chris. Let's taking a look round. I tell you, the one thing, the striking thing about these Speed Champions is the stickers. What's your thoughts on the stickers on this set, my friend?
Yeah, so there's a lot of stickers on this. I think in total there's over 50 stickers on this entire Speed Champion set, which is absolutely crazy. I actually did the stickers separately from my speed build because I didn't want to do them live on the stream, and it took really long to do the stickers as it did to do the builds. Also very disappointing is I've built a couple of these Speed Champions now, and you do usually get some really nice unique printed pieces in the set, but this set I believe contains no unique printed pieces. So I think that's probably plus on the side of it, can be dropping the value. I'd like to see if the Lamborghini set does have printed pieces, but this one has none. And I think there's some really nice opportunities, especially the front down here. That could have been a nice big printed piece. I think that would have looked really nice.
Yeah, and it's a lovely, great big Lego piece as well, because Speed Champions is notoriously lots of small parts, but this great big nose section here, I mean, it's absolutely wonderful. And the sticker, to be fair, to apply the sticker to that particular section was nice and easy. But yeah, notoriously, there is a lot of stickers with this. And sometimes, and I was almost tempted to actually not even apply the stickers, because you've got such a contrast between the black and the teal that I was almost tempted to sort of maybe I won't bother, but I did anyway. But I do like some of the detail around the car. Looking at the top section, especially like from the brake light going upwards, you've got the good choice of Jaguar sticker in there as well. I think that's particularly nice. And then of course you've got the seating compartment, or the cockpit, as our Formula E people there would like to call it. So there's this bar that goes around it. Now, I know you think differently to me about this, because I think that's quite good, if I'm honest. But you don't like it, do you, Chris?
I think the use of the parts is quite nice, but if you actually put the minifigure in, I think the minifigure looks a little bit disjointed in this set. You can't really put his arms in very well, and if you actually look at it, when the character's in the car, he can't see, because that bar is in the way of his vision, which Lego tend to do some nice things. So I don't know if people realize this, but when you have a camera accessory on a minifig, if you actually pull it up, the viewfinder goes through the eye. It's that subtle detail. And I feel like with this, it doesn't look right for a Lego And maybe I built it wrong. Maybe it's my one.
No, I do see what you mean from a practical point of view, from a realistic point of view. And these are very realistic, folks. I mean, you compare the 6 studs to the 8 studs, which is what obviously the new speed champions are. You do get a lot more realism. That obviously isn't realistic if you've got a great big bar sitting in front of you, but something about this set that is quite realistic, I would say, and would finish off on this, is those gaps. These gaps that you get here at the front, you would never be able to get that with a 6 stud wide speed champion. So I know there's pros and cons, Chris, to these speed champions and the 8 stud wideness of them, but if I'm honest, I do like them better. But I know people like yourself that have got cities would definitely see it as possibly a bit of a negative because they're just a tad too big.
Yeah, I mean, for me, to be honest, speed champions, personally, I don't feel fit in a city anyway, because you're not going to see this driving around. It may be London. You might get a couple of these outside Hamleys, maybe. But
all the time.
Yeah. But I think, yeah, these make absolutely great display. And to be fair, like even with that bar I was on about, I think this would look absolutely fantastic on an acrylic stand, like sideways on with the minifigure in front saying what it is. I think it would look absolutely gorgeous. And I think that's why I started collecting these, because they do make great display pieces. So for that, the realism is what people kind of are after, I think. And yeah, I think that's why I probably do prefer the 8 studs as well.
Okay then, Chris. So let's take a look at my favourite one out of the 2 builds then. The I-PACE eTROPHY. What's your kind of thoughts on that one?
Oh, so again, this is very, very sticker heavy, but I do love this vehicle. I mean, some of the techniques they've used at the front you can hold this car up at the front and it just looks like a Jaguar, doesn't it? It's just got that really cool build. There's a really nice piece where they actually use these bricks upside down and then use the fins to create the airflow underneath the car. I just think that's absolutely great.
Yeah, that is a very
amazing, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think it does. I think it's a really good build. There's the great thing with speed champions, folks, is that every now and again, to get the level of detail in these, they have to come up with really ingenious techniques and really ingenious building techniques. And we're not going to spoil it or anything like that for you. But what I will say is the front section of the I-PACE is absolutely brilliant to build. Yeah, like you said, Chris, the stickers is a thing on this one. You've got to be particularly good at lining up the Jaguar itself. But if you do get it right, it looks absolutely fantastic. It really does. But so what else did you like about this particular one?
So I actually love the actual car, so I'm a little bit biased towards this. I'm a big electric car fan. I know a lot of you guys out there aren't, but I think the I-PACE is one of the greatest electric vehicles that have come out in recent years. So I love the car anyway, and I do think it does definitely look like the actual road vehicle. I think the stickers, again, they do annoy me. I wish we'd have got some more printed ones, but they do still look nice when they're all applied. I really like the Jaguar grille on the front. That sticker looks absolutely gorgeous. And the use of one of the wheel trims upside down to create that Jaguar look is absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, that kind of barks back to what we were saying about the genius of the front of this build. Well, this was a strange one for me. Now, when it came to prints, this one actually does have a couple of prints on the roof that lines up quite nicely with the sticker, but it's a bit of a random print, don't you think, for this kind of 1x6 tile that goes across the roof?
Yeah, I completely agree. I think the only reason that that Lego have chosen to do those 2 as prints is because they don't go all the way to the edge. But with a lot of these stickers anyway, they just use teal colouring, so you could have easily just replicated that with a teal part of the sticker there instead. Yeah, I think there could have been a lot. If I'd have had the option, I would have had a lot different choices to have as the prints on this vehicle. Especially that Jaguar one on the side would have looked brilliant as a print.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. And I do get why you have to have stickers. And do you know what, folks? Sometimes actually stickers do look better than prints, especially if they're done properly. And these were good stickers, and they're okay to apply. And actually, for the actual windscreen or windshield, as my American cousins call it, the sticker to put on that was actually not too bad, because there was a kind of line indentation that went around the windscreen, so that kind of made that a little bit easier. But yeah. What I like about this it just feels solid. It just feels an absolute solid car.
Yeah. I mean, actually, that's a good thing to mention, Greg. This one's the only one out of the two that actually comes with the pre-built 8-stud chassis in which you attach things onto, whereas this one's actually built completely out of bricks. So, yeah, like I say, this one is solid. Feels quite heavy as well. It's got quite a bit of weight to it.
It's probably one of the most solid sets I've actually built. Certainly one of the most solid Speed Champion sets that I've built. But I will say just one thing. I just kind of on a negative about this. And I recently reviewed or compared actually the most recent Ferrari 2020 Speed Champions, and this suffers from the same thing as well. If you take off the windshield, you can see the actual steering wheel isn't actually in line with the driver's seat. And actually, talking about the driver's seat, it's not even a proper driver's seat, if I'm honest. It's kind of just what have we got there? We've got a kind of a 2x2 tile, but it's kind of good. You kind of get you get the impression that the driver can sit in there and find like that. But for realism, again, it's just a little couple of minor detail things that they kind of fall over on, I think. And these are, in my opinion, Chris, and I'd be interested to know what you think, these are very much real kind of models. They're a small scale, but certainly a larger scale to the 6-stud Speed Champion.
Yeah, I mean, these look like, if you looked at this from a distance, you wouldn't even think these were Lego, to be honest. They are very nicely designed models. I believe the steering wheel has been pushed over because the one that I reviewed, the Audi, the guy can actually put his arm in the vehicle properly. So I think they've done that to accommodate more down the side so that they can actually fit into the vehicle better. So obviously, it's a bit of pros and cons, sadly, to how they can do the side studding and, you know, the snot techniques to do on the side. Because another thing that I find very interesting with the Speed Champions is the fact that you don't have doors that open, you know, which is quite strange. You know, for a lot of vehicles, they actually make the door pieces, but they don't put them on Speed Champions due to realism.
Yeah, and you will get that. You do tend to get that. So quite often with like Lego city cars and stuff like that. So, I mean, going forward, we're certainly going to be doing a whole different spectrum of things from Lego, and Lego City, especially their vehicles, is definitely right up there on our radar to do. Just to finish off on this particular car, the one build I did really enjoy putting together, and you kind of very early in the build, you kind of put in the foundations for it, but I really enjoyed putting the spoiler together as well on this. I thought that came together quite nicely. Yeah,
it's quite nice. And again, that would have been really nice and very easy for them to have just printed that big Jaguar logo on the spoiler. That could have been quite a nice piece to have. But sadly they didn't, and it is another sticker. But yeah, I do agree, using the droid arms to create the spoiler, and then just some really nice techniques to create that kind of still that little hint of teal on it. It doesn't look like it's just been stuck on. It does actually look like it matches the car, which is quite nice. Yeah. And I really like the use of the back windscreen to create that angled look as well for the back of the car.
Yeah, I quite enjoyed the fact that they used some trans clear bricks for building around that section as well. I just thought that was just kind of a good level of detail in there for that. But I think overall, out of the two cars, Chris, I think it's a strange one because both cars, in my opinion, are actually very, very good. I think the I-PACE minifigure and the I-PACE vehicle itself, for me, just comes out on top.
Yeah, I completely agree. And actually, one more thing I just wanted to mention on the stickers, because again, I am very anti-stickers, but with these, they could have very easily used the clear stickers, which they used on the Porsche, which I really don't like. Whereas these are very high quality stickers, and the teal does match very well to the brick. So I think the application makes them a little bit easier because of that. You're not going to get dirt accidentally under the stickers either. So pro for the sticker use and the actual quality of the stickers, but sadly, I wish we just had a couple of printed pieces on this set.
Okay, Chris. So anyway, the final build from this whole set, of course, is in my opinion, the kind of uneventful start and finish line. What's your kind of thoughts around that?
Definitely. I mean, I think this actually showcases to me. When I first built this set and I did the stickers, how painful they were. The prints I didn't actually miss. I know I've been saying that they should have more printing, but this obviously is missing something here. There's no advertisements. In a real Formula competition, you'd have adverts all over the place on the start and finish line. That's where everyone's looking. You get nothing here. You just get some really bad stickers on the sides. And then you do have this playability feature where you pull out the Technic pin to do the red, yellow, and then green, or whichever way around it goes. So that's quite nice. I like that, but I just think it's very uneventful. And to be honest, I think I will collapse this and use these pieces here. They're quite expensive pieces to better use.
Yeah, I think personally, I completely agree. It just doesn't bring any value to this set at all. There's no branding at all. You think they could have put on some Jaguar prints or something like that. There's a great big grey section in the middle of it that's just basically, it's shouting out, add a sticker here or something, do something with it, because to be quite frank, this could be a start and finish line from any particular Speed Champions set. Personally speaking, Chris, I think they could have actually completely done away with this, right? And maybe have made some prints out of it and put the money to that instead. I don't know. What do you think about that?
I mean, definitely. I think if you actually took the pieces off of this, I think actually even not having those as pieces, the price per piece would still be very reasonable, because the price of the set is so low. But going back to what you were saying, Greg, about the Jaguar and things, I actually have here, just very quickly, this is the one that comes with the Mini. And as you can see, it has stickers of the 2 Mini vehicles going around the track, as well as Mini here. And it also uses red, which the 2 cars are in that color. So I think if they'd have done something more like this with a teal top and just some Jaguar things on there, I think it would have definitely
to have used some teal, I think would be a really good idea, Chris, because for that, if you just put some teal accents in there somewhere, or even just there, to be honest, in this kind of void grey area, then that would kind of pull everything together, but it doesn't. So that part of the whole set, the dual pack of set number 76898, that start and finish line is probably, in our opinion, the weakest part of the entire build, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, folks.
So that's it for our first L2M review. Overall, Greg and I really like this set, and definitely going to go well into our Speed Champions collection. If you guys enjoyed the vid, and if you haven't already, then please like and subscribe. And also don't forget to check out my channel for some more awesome Lego videos.
And don't forget, you can follow us both on Instagram, following the hashtag L2M. And as always, thank you for tuning in, and we'll leave you now with some videos that we think you might like.